Hello there. Welcome to Redline Reptiles and Exotics. Today I'm going to discuss how I do enrichment, especially nighttime enrichment. The video that you'll see after this intro will be footage of some of the nighttime enrichment that I do. It'll be done with a flashlight instead of I normally use a night vision goggles. Usually around 9:30 when it's real good and dark. I have a jungle gym in our backyard. We have about an acre of land, and our backyard's about a half acre. And I have a jungle gym built back there with branches and foliages and plants and hanging plants and stuff. And generally at night, my snakes want to come out, and I'll take them outside, and I'll wear my night vision goggles, and basically I let them free roam the whole yard. When I first started doing it, Roxy was my first, experiment with her. I took her out, and she crawled around on the jungle gym and got down on the ground and explored a little bit, but it seemed like she got tired pretty quickly and was ready to go in. But as time progressed, I've been doing this for about a year now, and we generally go out nighttime, usually 2 to 3 times a week if she wants to. Kind of depends on how she feels. And I do the rest of the snakes that way too, and we just kind of alternate nights and stuff. But I was just going to kind of explain how I do it. But I take her out, and the funny thing is she seems to be more active when I do the daytime enrichment. She'll explore a little bit, and then she goes and finds her little bush to lay under or something. And I mean, she's usually awake. You can see her smelling with her tongue and stuff. But at nighttime, it's a different story. They constantly on the go. She hunts. I'm not for sure what she's doing, but she'll periscope, and she's really taking in a lot of smells. And man, she started out probably going maybe 20 yards, in the yard. And my yard has a garden, and it's got some, shrubbery, and it's kind of different landscapes. But at first, she'd just kind of go into the garden area and kind of explore. She'd jump a rabbit or two. I think we even jumped a rat one time. But she's in a different mode, And one thing I want to stress, if you do this at night, I would invest in some night vision goggles. They're fairly cheap on Amazon. You can get a cheap pair for like $50. It's the little binocular scopes that's got the big screen, which is what I use. But it's got a headset that I can just clamp it on my head, and I can follow her around. I don't stay, too far back. I stay probably, 10 foot from her. And I carry a flashlight too, just in case. If I see her going in a direction, I'll shine the light over to see what's in that area she's going to, making sure there's no, nothing that could harm her, or like a raccoon or something that might try to, harm her. But and I just kind of follow her around, and she pays no mind to me. Now, one thing I will suggest when you go to retrieve her, I wouldn't reach for her head. I would grab the last third of her body and just kind of slowly work your hand down, because they could be in food mode. There's been times I've captured her, and she was really intent. You can tell she was kind of hunting something, really smelling hard, and so I always just kind of touch her back and let her know it's me, and then I just kind of slowly pick her up. I did experiment with that to see if she would bite me, and put my hand probably 3 or 4 foot away from her and gradually brought it to her head. And she did. She kind of went into a strike posture, but then she started really smelling, and she knew it was me, and she came right to me. But that might not be always the case. She's very well socialized, and she knows me very well. But I would suggest it because the exercise is phenomenal. Like I said, when we first started doing this, she would only go like maybe 20 yards and kind of explore, and then she'd be tired. Now, it was, them sessions was probably maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most. And now it's has gone into like an hour to 2 hours. She goes probably 100 yards. She just about covers our whole backyard, which, like I said, is a little over a half acre. And she explores really a lot. And I noticed that she will go to bigger objects. We have a trailer that we use to haul mulch and stuff. She'll go straight to it. She'll go to our we got a second little shop behind my reptile shop or a room, and she'll go to it. So they really are more active. The exercise they're getting is phenomenal, and I can see it in her. She is so active during the day now, just from her being out at night. It's kind of, I thought it would be the opposite. I thought she'd really sleep during the day, but now she's out basking more. She's out in her enclosure, and generally I get her out in the daytime. We do nighttime and daytime enrichment. And usually I take her to our jungle gym that's in the back, and I'll have some pictures or videos of that too, and maybe some pictures added into this. Like I said, I'm not a professional creator. I'm just here giving my perspective on how I keep snakes, and I ain't trying to get monetized or anything like that. There ain't gonna be no special music or anything, special cutting, but I'm gonna try to make it look nice to where Indians will kind of enjoy the content. But like I said, I'm just here to help people. A lot of people have issues with feeding problems. I think the enrichment is a big key in resolving that problem. I've noticed I have no snakes that go off food or hunger strikes. They even eat through sheds. And I think, the key issues to that is lighting and enrichment. I think if you don't give that to them, they're just, I don't know. It just seems people have problems. And everybody tells me, well, the case is they think that kind of contributes to the problem, but I don't believe that, because like I said, I've had my snakes for a long time, and I've had no issues with feeding. There's sometimes I kind of wish they would go off feeding, because they eat really good, and but I'm just joking there. I'm glad they're eating and doing good. But it's just something. If you do try, I would start out, like 15-minute blocks or something, or at the most 30. And if you ain't got night vision, I would really suggest that. But if you don't, you could use a flashlight and just kind of pull it away where it's just a little bit of enough light to where you can see your snake moving, and always look ahead of where they're going, because they can get in trouble, and be prepared for that. But man, I'm gonna tell you, I really enjoy it. It's fun for me to watch her get out and explore like this, because it's different from the daytime enrichment. They're on the move, and you can tell she just really enjoying herself. But really, that's all I wanted to say. The future videos, I'm going to do some more videos on lighting and what we use, and kind of go through that a little bit, because, like I said, a lot of people say snakes go off food when you got lighting and basking areas. That's, to me, is just completely false. I've never had any snake to go off food, and I just think that's even ludicrous. You know, if you think that lighting and enrichment makes a snake go off food, uh, you know, and that's just my opinion. People probably will disagree, but like I said, man, it's been a wonderful experience for me, and I've enjoyed my snake by doing this enrichment. So I hope you get something out of it. The video will be of the actual me taking her out at night, which I'm using the flashlight to show you guys kind of what they're doing. But in my normal circumstance, I'm using night vision. And so this will kind of give you an insight. And you could do it with the flashlight like I'm doing it in these videos, but I think it's a lot better when it's complete darkness. So you might want to give it a try, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. My version of a jungle gym for my animals. It's just a bunch of intertwined branches and woven in branches and logs. It gives them plenty to do. They do a lot of climbing, a lot of hiding under logs. It's just enclosures that outside enclosures I started to build and just never got around to finishing. So I hated to see them go to waste, not be used. There's a lot of little hidey holes. But that's basically what my snakes climb on and get enrichment. Hope it don't take a lot of skill. You just intertwine and throw it together.